Hey there, crazy kids, I am the GoodOldGamer, and welcome back to more Torchlight. Continuing on from where we left off with the introductory video, let's hit on into the mines. Enough dilly-dallying around in town.
I've arrived in Torchlight and begun my exploration of the tunnels below. These mines are vast and aglow with ember. I've never seen so rich a vein. Miners labor to extract it and take no heed of my warnings. I cannot blame them. I, too, could not resist the pull of ember. This ember is the same as that which afflicts me. The taint within it resonates with the corruption in my bones. I can feel it so clearly now. Blight springs from the depths and flows up through the veins. To purge myself of this evil, I must find the source.
Ooh, the sauce. Alright, so here we are. And like I said, these levels are randomly generated, so it will not be the same for you as it is for me. Keep that in mind. And if you hold shift down while you're attacking, you'll stay in place. Which doesn't matter so much for a melee character, but for a ranged character it's good, because otherwise we'll run up to the enemies. Also, you don't have to click every time you attack, you can just hold it and target an enemy. Ooh. I am so glad for that toggle here. Because now I don't have to hold the alt button down. I always had to do that in Diablo. Apparently I can't go there? Boo. Hey, a mana potion. You have completed a quest. To receive your reward, travel back to the town and speak to the individual with a question mark above their head. Use a town portal scroll to return directly to Torchlight, or I could just go up the stairs, which are right up there. Which I will do after a little while. Whoa! Gotta remember to hold shift. And see your pet attacks for you and stuff too. Which is amazing for a ranged character like me, to have a tank that's always with me. Someone that the enemies can get distracted with. And you see the bows have limited range too. Bam! Ricochet shot doesn't though. That was nice. I'm liking that. You can also shoot the barrels from a distance, so if there's any traps or explosives like that, you don't get hit. Which is another benefit to not being a melee-centered character. Not that melee characters are bad or anything, they're perfectly fine, they're just not my preference for this game. Oh hey, you're a miner. Never mind. I was gonna attack you, but you're a good guy. Gotta be careful with these chests because some of them are mimics. But fortunately, these are not. Ooh. Okay.
Hello there.
Once you get a little deeper down, you start running into fashioned stone, bits of old statues. Something's buried deep here. Mark me. Alright, good to know.
Hello.
It's the strangest thing, the Ratlins radar supplies, but they're never bothered looking in the barrels. I stuffed my extra kit in them and it stays safe and sound. Well, good to know, since I'll be destroying every barrel I can. Like this one. Bam.
You have triggered a trap.
Yep, a lot of good it did when I was a mile away. It's funny because I never played a ranged character in Diablo. You have discovered a magical item. It is unidentified, which means that its magic powers are undiscovered, which means you got to use an identify scroll, which I also had to use in Diablo quite a bit. But I never played a ranged character in the Diablo games because you were always limited by your ammunition. And I thought that was lame because melee characters are never limited like that. The fun thing about Ricochet Shot, as you just saw, is that it goes through multiple characters, multiple enemies. So if you have them in a line like this, it's the perfect setup to use it. But I never played a ranged character in the Diablo games because you always had to have arrows on you. And I thought that was kind of lame because melee characters, you never had to worry about that. Boy, this Ricochet Shot's coming in really handy. I'm liking that. But in this game, you don't have to worry about that. You have unlimited ammunition, so to speak. Which is fantastic, because that's how it should be. The ranged characters shouldn't be at such a deficit. They're already at a deficit in that they're generally weaker than melee characters, which are built to tank. That should be enough, you know? It should be about your weapon's attack speed, how fast it fires and the damage it does and all that, rather than, oh, do I have enough arrows in my inventory? And that's not to say that Diablo had any trouble with that. It's not like the Diablo games were stingy with their arrows or anything. I always had a ton of them to sell. Playing a melee character, I never needed them. But just the fact that the arrows had to be there, you always had to have a quiver of arrows, which means that was another inventory spot that was taken up by an essential item. And melee characters never had that. Never had that problem either. They had an extra inventory slot, or maybe even 2 inventory slots, the way the Diablo inventory was designed. And I think there was a door back here that we didn't go through. So yeah, I always thought that was kind of lame, so I'm glad this game doesn't have that problem. And I gotta remember to keep using shift, because my character wants to run right up there to them if I don't do that for some retarded reason. Hey! We blew up stuff with TNT. That's awesome. Ooh, it looks like a treasure room of some kind. Oh, and I'm glad you don't have to... You have to click on the items to get them, but you don't have to necessarily click on the gold. You just run by it and it automatically picks up. That is nice.
You have triggered a trap.
So maybe you're asking yourself, why do I love this game? Because it seems pretty simple. You just kill things, grab their loot, kill things, grab their loot. Doesn't seem like it's too tricky. And I gotta say, that's why I love this game, because it's all about loot. You kill enemies, you get loot, you get a little bit better weapons, a little bit better armor. You go up incrementally in terms of your gear. And in order to get better gear, or to get gold to get better gear in the stores, you have to go keep killing things. And I'm all about loot. I think the Diablo games, that were basically kind of like this game, just a little different because they were older, you know, didn't have all the technology and stuff, but I think the Diablo games made me into the loot hoarder that I am. Because they had the same basic design where there's my inventory. I had to figure out the right button. There's the same basic design where we get all of these items, you know, we kill enemies, get items, put them on, sell the rest, and keep going. They had the same basic setup, and that made me into wanting to get loot in all these other games like Fallout 3 and Sleeping Dogs and Minecraft and all that stuff. Let's see, we got all these unidentified items. I know I'm going to sell this because it's a melee weapon. I might use that because it's a gun, a rifle. Or I might use that because it's a rifle. And this is armor. So these, you have to, especially when you start out and you need identify scrolls, you have to go by priority. So this, and this. And then if that's all the scrolls I had, I wouldn't be able to get this one. But we have 4, so I'm going to get that one too. And then we got a Gleaming Ember. That's a quest item. Spear we're not going to use. Let's see what this armor is. 10% chance to reflect 50% of missile damage. So we got a 10% chance to reflect half of arrows and any of the ranged attacks. What do we have here? 4 armor, but this has that extra bonus, so this is what we're going to wear. We'll be able to sell that.
Not possible.
Oh, that's just a level requirement one. Oh, that's just level requirements. Never mind. Well, then we'll just go with this. That is a club, but that's going to be good to sell. We're not going to use it, but that's going to be good to sell. And we just have practice bow, but whatever. Okay, let's keep going, I guess. Okay. On to level 2. Oh, I should go back. Since I'm right here, I should go back and get that quest completed. Since we got the item that guy wanted. I could use a town portal, but we're right on the first level, so I'll just go back and we'll make a quick run back.
Hello.
Rich with veins of ember, you can see gleaming everywhere. I'll make a fortune. Okay, miner guy, if you say so. I love that there's that tab button for the items on the ground, so you don't have to use the alt key. Diablo didn't have that. And that's one of those things where I say Torchlight is like Diablo, only better. It's because the creators of this game used to work on the Diablo games, and they learned from those games and made improvements when they made this one. I really appreciate that, and that makes me love this game even more. Oh, this is the blacksmith guy. See, once we cleared out the first level, then these guys moved in, I guess. We don't really have much for gold, but I am going to sell that because we don't need that. If you hold shift, you can automatically sell it, I believe. Rusty blade, don't need that. Got better armor, so we don't need that. It's a quest item, so we can't sell that, I don't even think. 41 damage per second. Slow attack speed. That's apparently the exact same thing. We're only gonna need one if we even use it. What does that do? 24 damage per second. So that's gonna be an upgrade whenever we get to level 2. Eventually we'll get spells that we can learn up here. We can learn up to 4 at a time. And then any extra spells we have can go in here. But they're not learned. We can only learn 4 at a time. And then fish. We can fish in certain spots. And the fish we can give to our pets. And it'll transform them into various monsters or enemy or animals or whatever. In order to boost their attacks and whatnot. I don't think you're going to have anything I really want or can use. That's one we already got. Oh, we could get some of these extra ones here for these, because this is another improvement that this game makes over Diablo. Diablo had the armor, the helmet, and the boots, I think. And this one, well, and a belt, but this one has things like shoulders and Or maybe the shoulders is the only extra one. Because I remember gloves in Diablo. Never mind. I'm talking nonsense. What do our gloves do? 2 armor. I don't think I'm going to get any of this armor stuff because we'll find it as we go. But we'll keep the gun for now. We might sell it and might be able to use it once we gain a level. And I don't think my pet picked up anything. Sometimes they can pick up items on the ground for us. What are you? Oh, the transmuter guy. You're the quest guy.
There.
Aha, I see you found the gleaming ember. Hope it wasn't too much trouble. Here's your reward. And it's all this stuff. And a gem. Yay. This is a fine, clear piece, but still there's something odd about it. All of the ember from Torchlight seems to have special quality. Well, I'll soon understand it better.
You have gained in experience.
Gained a level! And just like in the Diablo games, you get to boost your stats. You have new stat points to distribute. Click the button next to each attribute to improve that aspect of your character. You also have new skill points that you may be used to improve your character's abilities. So here we go. We can boost this by 1, and we can boost these by 5, just like in Diablo, leveling up. I think for right now I'm going to focus on dexterity and defense. That's going to be our main ones. I'm not too particularly concerned about this. Although I will put some points into magic because critical chance. And then strength, I'll have to probably put some points into there for item requirements, particularly in armor. But for now, I'm not going to worry about it too much. I'll do that for now, I guess. I'm not sure when these go up. I don't know. We'll find out about that later, I guess. And now this, I get to pick one out of here. This one we already have, Ricochet. Inflicts 100% of weapon DPS. Ooh, that would be nice. Ranged weapon expertise. -1 to ranged equipment requirements. That's nice. Plus 4% ranged weapon damage. That's nice. And then we can use, what's this? Lightning bomb. I'm not going to worry about that. Like I said, I'm going to go after more of the passive abilities. Fling an arc of 5 darts that pierce foes. Slower movement for 10 seconds. Plus 5 damage. That might be actually nice to get for crowd control, because sometimes there can be a lot of enemies on the screen and we need to get them down. This does that too, but they have to be kind of in a line. So it's between this and this, it looks like, for now. I guess I'll get this now. Plus 21 to 20% damage. Plus 5 damage for 10 seconds. I'll get this now just so we have it in case. I guess with tab I can switch back and forth here with the 2 if I set it just right. So that won't be too tricky. So yeah, we'll get that. And then the we'll set that to that. And then I can use tab to switch back and forth, right? Yeah. That'll be good if I remember that hotkey at all. Probably won't, but... And he has another quest for us.
Okay.
Ember is the essence of magic, and it assumes aspects of its environment. That is why Ember from different locations can appear and behave completely differently. I've heard of a vast necropolis buried below the mines. Deathlace Ember can sometimes be found in such places. Studying such a rare type of Ember is a long-held dream of mine. You'll bring me any you find, won't you? Mysterious map scroll. Right-click to open a portal to a lost dungeon. This is fun because these are extra, like, side dungeons that don't really matter to the main story or anything, but they give you extra experience and loot, obviously. So we'll get that as a reward, plus all of this good stuff. So, yeah, of course.
You have begun a new quest.
You might as well accept these quests whenever you get them, because you're going to be going through the levels that they take place in anyway, and you're going to be killing the guys or finding the loot that you're going to find anyway, so you might as well just take them. These two guys moved in. This destroys items, recovering the gems, so if you socket one of your gems into an item, but you want the gem back, you can go to this guy. It'll destroy the item it's in, but you can get your gem back. This one does the opposite thing. It destroys gems that are inside socketed items, but it gives you back the item, so you can put a different gem inside if you want. You just lose the gem that was already in it. So that's what these two guys do. I don't think I have anything that takes a gem yet. Neither of these are socketed. And I don't think I'd put one in basic equipment anyway, but we do have a gem for our quest. Plus 12 health, plus 2 critical hit chance. Transmute any 2 identical gems to get one of the next higher grade. Ooh, that's good to know. And I should have sold that, and for some reason I didn't. And we can use this if we want. You get 2 different weapon slots, so you can have 2 different weapons. I don't really know if we're going to need 2 different weapon slots, but I guess for now we can run with it. And for some reason you use the bow in this hand slot, and you use a 2-handed rifle in this hand slot, but whatever. This one does more damage than our practice bow does. So we'll use that. Probably have to get rid of our practice bow at some point. But we got a rifle, guys! We can try out a rifle. Yeah. That's transmuting. I think for now, I'm going to... put this in our shared inventory in case I make another character eventually and want them to have that. This stash here, I guess, is for in case you want an extra stash, but you don't want to give any future characters any kind of advantage or whatever.
Hail!
We can get more mana potions if we need it, but I think we're doing pretty good for right now. Our mana regenerates naturally, our health does not. At least yet. We can probably get items that give us health regeneration eventually, but for right now it doesn't. So we're in much more need of health potions than mana potions. But I don't think I need to buy any right now either. We haven't gotten to the point where we're in a big hurry for that. Who are you? Who are you? Have you seen any monsters? Just a random kid, I guess. That's cool. Blacksmith. Nah, I don't think I need to buy anything yet. You're probably going to see me spend more money on enchantments, enchanting items we already have, and then, or if it costs money to get gems back from items, I might be doing that too. Much more than I'll be buying stuff from the stores, because generally loot in these games is pretty good that you find just killing things. So I'm going to be relying on that more than anything. Just killing stuff and seeing what kind of loot we get there. If there's some awesome item in a store that I really want, I'll buy it, but it's not going to happen very often. Especially early on here in these early levels. I'm not going to be too fussed about it because I don't think enemies are going to be a huge deal just yet. We need to go this way. On to the second level. I should be ending this video here pretty quick. In fact, I think I will do it now. As soon as I get rid of these enemies here, anyway. See, that's the needle arc. You get crowded by enemies. That's our rifle. Nice. What's your problem, Cujo? Oh, maybe that wasn't you, Cujo. The nice thing about rifles is that they also have a much longer range than bows. So you can shoot things from farther away. And I need to remember to use my shift. Come on, kill the thing. Thank you. And see, our health isn't regenerating.
A trap has been sprung.
Yep, didn't do too much good for me. Ooh, a TNT barrel. Much longer range with the rifles. Very awesome. The one problem I have with these games is that I find them very addicting. So I'm gonna have to really work on.
You have gained in experience.
I'm gonna have to really work on keeping an eye on like general video time or whatever, so don't go too long. Come on. Oh, I can hit him from there. Another thing about getting playing a ranged character is that you get the advantage on a lot of the enemies. Some enemies have ranged attacks, but a lot of them are built around melee, so you always tend to get a, I wouldn't say always, but mostly get a big advantage over a lot of these, especially the cannon fodder kind of enemies here. You can hit them from quite a ways away, which is awesome. And again, the rifle here has a fairly long range to it. Bows are probably mid-range from what I've seen, and pistols are probably shorter range, but the benefit of pistols is that they're not two-handed weapons or one-handed weapons, so you can have two of them at a time. And even though they're not as damaging as like a rifle or a bow, because you can have two of them, you can have all kinds of enchantments and elemental effects, and like one can have poison and fire damage, and one can have electric damage, and so there's advantages to using all sorts of these different kinds of things. I don't think there's really one over another so much. It just depends on your playstyle, preferences, all that jazz. I'm not entirely sure how we've been healing, because as far as I'm aware, I haven't used any heal potions, but I don't know. For the damage we've been taking, we've seemed to be not taking. Oh, I know how we level. I know how we healed. We leveled up, and I didn't pay any attention. That's how. You always max heal every time you level, every time you gain a level. So that's why I just wasn't paying any mind. Increases magic damage, increases range damage, increases armor absorption. It's always err on the side of the dexterity for more damage. And we get another point here. So that would go from 13 to 21 damage to 17 to 29 damage, 7 damage for 10 seconds. This would go 100% of weapon DPS, plus ranged or -1 ranged equipment requirements, 4% ranged weapon damage. I think we're going to go with this one. I'm probably going to put a lot of points into this. Well, not a lot, but I can put up to 10, it looks like. As you can see up there in the corner, rank 1 of 10. I guess you can put 10 into any of these. Wow, that's kind of cool. Good to know. See, now we do a little bit extra damage here on our guns. So that's cool. I really need to be ending this video pretty soon. I think actually this is a good place to end it. So we're going to end it here. Thanks for watching, boys and girls. I am the GoodOldGamer. This has been more Torchlight with Cara the Vanquisher and her loyal puppy dog Cujo. Stay tuned for more adventures in the mines next time. Bye-bye for now.